Here we go. Welcome. Welcome to Sunday Strong. Thank you guys for being so patient while I got all of that figured out. I'm going to do one more thing here. Let me spotlight. Now let me change the view. Okay, there we go. Now, so my name is Stephanie. Stefani Scotch. I am a coach. I am an accidental health coach. I never in a million years thought I would be sitting here talking to 149 people on a Sunday about health. So I'm glad you're here. I started program 5 years ago. It was May of 2020. Officially started program in May of 2020. My first go around was August of 2019 with Optavia. And I ate the fuelings and I lost 15 pounds and I gained it all back because I quit. I didn't talk to my coach. I didn't get on these awesome community calls. I didn't get into the life book. I didn't do the mental work. I treated it like a diet, like I had treated every other diet I had done in the past, and I failed. So I came back around May of 2020 and I went all in this time. Okay. I ate the fuelings. I talked to my coach. At the time, or I got on these calls, I did the mental work. At the time, I was married and it was not the picture perfect life that I wanted everyone to think I had from the outside looking in. It was really bad. And it was a very low point in my life. Um, the marriage I was in was very toxic, and I am a food addict. And so it was just bad. I have a 17-year-old son. He was 12 at the time. And everything in my life just felt out of control. And so I had to start program again. Like I had to, I was desperate. And so I did. I started program again and I leaned all the way in. And I even became a coach. Even when looking back, I think, goodness, how in the world did I do that? But I became a coach working full time, running a business, having a 12-year-old in the midst of about to be going through a divorce. I had only lost 20 of my 45 pounds. But I said yes to coaching and it changed everything for me. And so here I am 5 years later. I ended up losing 45 pounds, got divorced. Um, Not easy, I mean, it's not easy for anybody, but this one was a special. I always say it was like right out of a Lifetime movie. Um, but I was able to lean into this program and really lean into the tools it gave me so that I could navigate that divorce um, in the best way I could with my health and not binge. Okay. That doesn't mean I've been perfect for 5 years, but I've definitely come a long ways. So I'm going to get into some nitty gritty stuff today. I put on the little graphic, like, I don't want to talk about ketchup today. I just don't. You can find ketchup tips on the Facebook page or nutrition support. And so I'm going to share a few things with you guys that I haven't shared before on any of these calls. And I want to open it up to you feeling safe to maybe share some things that you're struggling with. Real quick, a reminder, we are ending this call about 15 minutes early tonight because we're going to close this room and then open it up for a pop-up Coach Explore, which is going to be super fun. So it's going to start at 6 Central, 7 Eastern. So it's going to give us about 15 minutes to kind of go to the bathroom, get a potty break, get a fueling, whatever. 6 Central, 7 Eastern. So if your coach has invited you to this or has ever told you that you need to coach with us, then even if you are like, I have zero interest in that, like I'm not doing that, that's weird, or I don't have time, or whatever the story in your head is, just come to the call anyways. Just come listen. It's not a commitment. It's just information. And then you never know what you might hear. Okay. So just do your coach a favor and come to the Coach Explore. It's going to be in the same room. Kristen is leading it. So you're going to hear some awesome stuff. And then you can just laugh at your coach later and be like, okay, I did it. I did what you said, but it'll be fun. So we are ending a little bit early. Okay, so that you've already heard a little bit about of my background of my Optavia story. Like I said, I have been doing this for 5 years, and no, I have not been eating 5 fuelings a day for 5 years. I have a precious client who just started this week, and she might be on this call, I don't know. Um, She's texted me and she said, I don't know how you have been doing this for 5 years, how you've been eating 5 fuelings a day for 5 years. And I wanted to say, maybe my posting is not effective because, girlfriend, I am not eating 5 fuelings every day. Now, do I still eat fuelings? Heck yeah, because they're amazing. And it's one less thing for me to have to think about. But I'm in optimization. So I eat a ton of whole foods and I've learned my body. And that's what's awesome about this plan is it gave me the tools to be able to clear all that brain space that I needed to really work on changing my habits and really breaking through the change for me personally of binge eating and food addiction. And one of the biggest ways that Optavia has changed my life, not only am I 45 pounds lighter and in a healthy range for my BMI, for my height and age, all that, but you guys, I'm such a much more emotionally present person than I was before this. And so if you're just starting this, it is so much more than about those 5 fuelings that you're eating every day. And I promise you, you will find that out, but you've got to stick with it. So, what I want to talk to you about real quick is the stories in our head that are telling us we're stuck. Have you ever said, I'm just stuck? Like put a one in the chat if you've said that anytime in your journey, whether you're on day 2 or day 5042, I'm just stuck. Okay, yes, we got some ones rolling in. So me too. I've said that before too. But really, that wasn't about being stuck with the program. It was about being stuck with whatever story was in my head, whatever wounds I wasn't ready to deal with yet. So today is Father's Day. Father's Day can be hard, right? Just like any other holiday. There are so many dynamics and emotions that come with it, whether maybe you lost your dad, maybe you didn't grow up with a dad, maybe you don't have a great relationship with your dad, maybe you're a guy on here and you long to be a dad and you're not one yet. Or maybe you had the most amazing dad in the world, and that's awesome too. But I've always had a super difficult time navigating Father's Day because of how I grew up. I didn't really have a consistent father figure in my life. Actually, it was very volatile. My parents got divorced when I was 3, so I don't remember ever having my dad around, my biological father. Maybe I remember seeing him maybe 5 times from the age of 3 to maybe 10. Um, my mother got remarried right around that time frame of me being 10, 9, 10. When she got remarried, she married another man and he wanted to adopt me so that I could have his last name. So I remember going to TGI Fridays. I don't know if I don't think they're gone now, but that restaurant was TGI Fridays. And I remember sitting on the patio being 9 or 10. And I remember there was a conversation, and my biological dad was signing papers to be able to basically give up the rights to me over to who was going to be my stepdad. And I was thinking back, I'm like, oof, man, probably shouldn't have been at that table that day. But I was. And so he allowed my stepdad to adopt me. Well, fast forward a couple of years, my mom and my stepdad got into some trouble, and my mom had to go to prison. And I was left with my stepdad being the one to take care of me. Well, it was too much for him, and he split. So he left, and I had to just kind of bounce around different people's homes. Thank goodness I have so many women in my life that really kind of shepherded me and took care of me. And so then my mom got out of prison, and she was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. And he came back for a little bit. And then when she was diagnosed with the breast cancer, he was gone again, and he was gone for good. So I was about 12 and I had some other things that happened, but I was the sole caretaker of my mom. And it was like that for the rest of our like lives. My mom has passed since then, but I never grew up with a consistent father figure. Okay. So I always wondered, like, as I've been doing this whole personal development gig, okay, through Optavia, because Optavia will fillet you wide open if you let it, okay? I wonder if this dynamic had anything to do, like, how is this tied to my food addiction? And I wanted to really figure it out. So I kind of did a little bit of, self-reflecting and a little bit of research. And I wanted to know, like, how has this affected me in a positive way, but also in a negative way? And here's what I learned. So if you can like connect with any of this, please put it in the chat. But it could be not even like a father figure. It could be your mom or another figure or whatever hard you've had in your life. Okay. We've all had hard. And we were overweight most of the time. We were overweight not because we liked the taste of cupcakes, right? I mean, cupcakes do taste good, but it really was because we were searching for some, we were just trying to fill a void. And that's what I was trying to do. So in my situation, I became hyper independent. Okay. So like I learned early on that um, if I didn't do something, it was like no one would. Okay. So I had to become the strong, responsible one, the one who figured everything out. But sometimes that strength can become an armor, right? And it was hard for me to let my guard down. I have trust issues, like, especially with men. I have very few men in my life that I have let in that I trust. Okay. But I have trust issues. And it really, if it's like if you have spent all of your life or most of your life or a lot of your life trying to prove that you are worthy of being chosen or protected or prioritized, and if that fundamental relationship in your life was shaky, right? Like it's really hard to find a safe relationship or feel safe in a relationship. So you second guess yourself when you're receiving any type of stability. And then there was like the deep craving for affirmation. So when a father figure or whatever, mom or whoever, doesn't consistently show up, you wonder, okay, what did I do wrong? And that morphs into people pleasing, overachieving, needing external validation to just feel enough. Okay. So I can identify with all of that. But then there's the good stuff. You have unshakable grit. Okay. You had to figure things out in the dark, like on your own. That is super powerful. You also love people very fiercely and you're super loyal because you know what it feels like to be left out or overlooked or unsupported. So you go above and beyond to show up for others. And then there is the deep desire to break the cycle. So, whatever cycle you are trying to break, maybe it's not this specifically, maybe it's food addiction, maybe it's binge eating, whatever it is, okay? You being here on this call, you're choosing to break the cycle. And that's what we have. We have a deep desire to break the cycle, okay? So, this is how it connects. People pleasing and binge eating are often symptoms of emotional roots. That these were my emotional roots, okay? And we're not going to get to the we're not going to like get to the other side of recovery, is what I call it, until we pull the roots. So the story in my head was, I just can't stay on plan and I would binge. Well, no, I was still stuck in that cycle and I had not pulled the emotional